Are we ready now?
I guess we're gonna be ready. Hey, we just a week ago we got back off of family vacation, and this year we went cruising, and we actually went on two cruises back to back. Nikki and Thomas and Lexi and I did a 3 day Royal Caribbean cruise, and we left on a Friday, got back on a Monday morning, and we got off of one ship and turned around and immediately got on a Carnival cruise. It was a great chance to get to experience both cruise lines back to back, and Nikki's gonna tell you a little bit about some of the differences between the cruise lines and pros and cons for each.
All right, so I'm going to tell you my thoughts and let Brad chime in whatever he wants to. All right, so food. Of course, that's one of the best things about cruises. And we're going to talk about food because there's pros and cons, like everything, pros and cons to either ship. So, Carnival definitely has more free options. If you want to go and not have to pay anything for food, you can do that on either one. You could go the whole time of your cruise and not spend anything on food. However, if you do that on Carnival, you're going to have more options, and they have good free food. What was your favorite?
Um, for like lunch options and
Yeah.
whatnot, I'm a sucker for a good hamburger. So Guy Fieri's little burger bar, and you have all these awesome toppings that you get to put. I mean, that was a favorite, but also I'm a big fan of noodles and noodle dishes, and they have the Lucky Bowl, or they had the Lucky Bowl was one of the little options for lunch as well that had like ramen style noodles with
Mm-hmm.
chicken or shrimp and that kind of stuff. So those were
Yeah, they had
really good
orange
options.
chicken with rice too, which is what I like. Burgers were great. Those are just a couple of the options. I'm actually going to do a whole video about Carnival's food options, so you can check out that for more information. But there was more free food on Carnival. Royal Caribbean, on the other hand, has more specialty dining. So if you like more options, more fancy food. Royal Caribbean had more options. Even at night, like they both had good. We went to the main dining room every night, both cruises. They both had great options, but Royal Caribbean honestly had a few more options, especially when it came to desserts. But I think even food each night maybe was a little better quality. I don't know. Dining rooms were similar. They were both really good.
It's good food. I like
Yes,
to eat.
yes, we like the food. In general, Carnival ships, the standard cabins are actually like the biggest in the industry. So the cabins, even though we were on like one of the oldest Carnival ships, the room cabin that we were in, we just did a standard. It was bigger. Bathrooms, especially, there was quite a bit more space, honestly. Um, Royal Caribbean, on the other hand, and especially the newer their ships get, there is a crazy amount of options of different types of rooms that you can do. They have all different balconies that are overlooking like different parts of their ships, not just balconies overlooking the ocean and the sea, but overlooking their promenade areas, and they have virtual balconies. They have a lot more suites and things like that. Royal Caribbean overall, their ships are bigger, are super innovative. It definitely was like night and day as far as a more feeling more new, more modern, more luxurious on Royal Caribbean. All right. So for activities, Carnival will keep you busy all day if you like the traditional old fashioned cruise activities like trivia.
Were always things going on, up on the top. They had, free play for the basketball court, and there was a ropes course on the Carnival cruise, um, cornhole boards, a pool table, foosball table, some of those kind of things. So, like activities that you could just go and do free times, but then they would also have, like maybe a tournament or a specific time that people could come, and other people on the ship would know this is a gathering time for a foosball tournament or for pool table. Um, but then yeah, just I love trivia, and every 30 minutes there was like a new guess the song, sports trivia, food and drink trivia, just lots of options for just simple little activities and games and that kind of stuff. They had some of that available on Royal Caribbean as well. Just it didn't seem to be as consistent throughout the whole day.
Like Royal Caribbean would maybe have one or two trivia things in a day, and Carnival, literally our crew could be found in someone in our crew. There was 19 of us, so we were with a group. Pretty much any time of the day, any day, you could go find our group doing trivia, or karaoke was our other big favorite, and that also was a bigger time period. Like Carnival's karaoke, there would be 3 to 4 hours probably each day where you could do karaoke, compared to maybe 1 to 2.
An hour and a half, yeah.
But now that being said, Royal Caribbean, they have more elaborate, over the top type activities. Like, they, on almost all of their ships now, they have these surf simulators. Their slides and water parks bigger, more over the top. They have ice skating rinks on a ton of their ships. They had just much more innovative, and again, that's what they're known for. They have much more innovative, high quality. They may not have had the amount of quantity of some of the smaller activities, but they had more high quality activities, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say that was true for the shows as well. Like the shows that their performers did just seemed to be a better quality on Royal Caribbean. They were more entertaining. Besides them having a day that you could go and ice skate, they had this ice skating show that was unbelievably good.
Highlight of our cruise.
Yeah,
that
that was really good.
Show.
But the shows that they perform, but also the game shows that you get to go and they ask for audience participation. Those were maybe structured a little bit better and seemed to be a little more entertaining than some of those similar events on the Carnival cruise.
All right, so Carnival is 9 times out of 10 or more is going to be more affordable. They're known as the fun ship, but also as they want to be super affordable and super accessible. They do more shorter cruises. They're at more ports than any other cruise line. So if you're looking, especially maybe for a starter short cruise and just want to see what cruising is all about, Carnival is an easy way to get started and check it out. It is very rare, I think, that Royal Caribbean probably will price in cheaper, but like we've said, Royal Caribbean overall is going to be a little bit more of an upscale feel. The activities seem nicer. If I had to like paint a picture, that this may be a little bit extreme, but a good picture of this is comparing the two. We went to a parade on each of the ships, and the parade on Carnival was like 3 or 4 characters dressed in Dr. Seuss costumes, marching and ringing a bell, and they had a trail of, a few kids and people behind them. But then Royal Caribbean, they did a very elaborate, like 50 plus people doing choreographed dancing with actual big floats. And granted, it was more crowded. There were a ton of people watching. You had to get there early to get a spot. But that's kind of the difference. I thought that was a good picture of the difference in the feel of the two ships. So overall, I would say the food and the affordability versus the more luxurious feel are kind of your biggest differences in Royal Caribbean and Carnival. Anything you want to add to that?
I had a great time on both.
Yes. Okay. If you like cruises, they're not for everyone, but if you're a cruise person, I think any cruise is better than no cruise. So, hey, go on a cruise if you like them. Talk to us if you have questions and want to know more.